Okay, everyone, and hello, and welcome back to another video. Just for everybody who just wants the information, just so you know, there are cards for this one, so they are down below. All I ask if you grab them and run, though, is just that guy. So today we are going to talk about mantles again. And I know, we all want to hear about Title Update 1 things, but I think in many ways, this is more important than the new equipment in the game. Corrupted Mantle, Crazy Mantle. I have a whole video on it. If you haven't seen it, you can watch the old one. However, that is a relic of the past. Corrupted Mantle has been affected by our live service type game. The director, Takuda, has said he thought that Corrupted Mantle was overtuned. Their words, not mine. And it has subsequently been nerfed. So I'm just going to go ahead and throw up the old one as well. Previously, Corrupted Mantle gave you 10% affinity off the rip just as soon as you put it on, and it lasted 120 seconds. Now only lasts 90 seconds and only gives 5% affinity. It would then give you 10% more damage. That has been dropped down to 4.3%. And total affinity, once you've activated it, is now a total of 10% compared to 30%. It's pretty bad. It was definitely too powerful originally. I don't know that I like a 90-second mantle. 90 seconds for most of these, it feels like, why did I put it on? I mean, you're going to use it anyways. It's not that hard to put it on, but it is a significant reduction in power from the original mantle. I wanted to make this video because A, we want to talk about how Corrupted Mantle has changed, and then B, maybe now there'll be a reason to use some of the other mantles. So definitely way weaker than it was before. Inherently brought down more in line towards the other mantles as a result. You're going to see soon. Other thing to mention, the base stats of Corrupted Mantle not only got dropped, but from my testing, the weapon performance buffs got dropped as well. So I could, and I'm not going to, not now, I could make an entire video retesting all of the motion values on every weapon in the game again. But because everything has been nerfed so much, I think what you're going to find is Corrupted Mantle is going to be there for when you either A, want more damage without any effort, or B, have a very specific elementally focused weapon where you are happy using the triangle M1 vertical combos. So just as an example, here we are in the training room. Originally, the draw slash itself had stronger motion values on it compared to the strong slash. I actually said like, wow, this is so neat. It's being brought in line. But now when you compare it to the strong charge, it's actually weaker. So, you know, I have the elemental damages split out. I would have to go through and test everything. It used to be your elemental motion value was almost 1-to-1. It was like a 1.0 motion value. It's now significantly less. Let me see. Let's just do one draw slash. So 5.2 versus 17.3, almost at 30%, maybe even under. You know, and again, all of these numbers are different across the board, across every weapon. So all I can do is speak in some generalities because I actually want to spend time talking about the other mantles. The original Corrupted Mantle video was supposed to be a full dive into all the mantles. And then I'm like, oh, wow, look at all this information that I can pull out by doing testing on the Corrupted Mantle. No. Use the Corrupted Mantle just for A, you don't want to deal with Evasion Mantle, or B, like I said, you want bonus elemental damage, knowing that you're going to be limited to your combos. So that's going to be pretty significant. You know, I mean, on the Sword and Shield, I think it still makes the chop combo better than lateral slashes. But for many other weapons, if your combos don't coincide nicely with spamming a lot of triangle hits, may not be worth using. Okay, let's talk a little bit about Evasion Mantle because I didn't really get to talk about it. And I've been wanting to discuss this for a long time because I think even on the previous patch, there was something to be said for the Evasion Mantle. So the buff from the Evasion Mantle, by the way, this got an increase in duration. It was 90 seconds. It is now 105 seconds. And that matters. I mean, that's a pretty nice buff in terms of duration. It gives you 20% boost to raw damage for 10 seconds on a successful dodge. This buff will expire. As soon as the mantle falls off your body, it turns into a trash bag. It goes away. Also, it follows the same general guidelines for the Corrupted Mantle in terms of certain types of attack buffs stacking, certain buffs do not. Not only that, certain weapons get new moves out of the Evasion Mantle. And I think the one that I want to talk about the most is Gun Lance. So I'm going to set it up and then we'll cut ahead to Gun Lance. Okay, so here's a little setup that I have updated from Title Update 1. I was messing around with this as a set, but before Title Update 1, Corrupted Mantle was so much better. Now that Evasion Mantle is almost 4 to 5 times stronger than Corrupted Mantle when it comes to raw, especially for weapons that good attack links out of evading. So in this case, Gun Lance gets amazing attack links out of Evasion Mantle. I think it's probably going to be worth running. So for something like this sort of setup, we would want to go ahead and get one hit off on us first just to activate Counter-Strike. We're already at 317 raw, but then take a look about how high it gets with an evasion. So now we're up to 375. It's a lot. It's pretty good. And the amazing thing is all of the attack links are really, really good. So now we're hitting for, man, that was 252 damage. But even when your Wyvern fires are up, every move you get, so the overhead smash, sorry, I missed it. Every attack you get is also good. So like overhead smash, if you don't have a lot of time, is good. Otherwise, if you're going for like a big attack opportunity, you can go immediately into moving wide sweep, which means you can immediately go into another multi-worm stake full blast. If you get hit, you can reactivate your Counter-Strike. But it's just, it is so good now. You know, every move you get out of this is good. And of course, you know, it lasts longer by default than Corrupted Mantle. I don't see any reason not to use Evasion Mantle on Gun Lance from this point forward. Now, looking at some of the other weapons, I'm not going to go through all of them. Nothing feels as impactful as Gun Lance. Going into a strong charge right away on Greatsword is nice. You can technically go from strong wide slash to true charge slash. Wouldn't really recommend it. The strong wide slash doesn't get any sort of additional buff, so it's not that good. Lance, it's okay. Leaping thrust is a decently strong move. Wouldn't say it's necessarily worth using just because that attack is good though. However, if you are using more of a raw focused lance or you're fighting a monster that's weaker to raw, not that weak to element, I could see it being okay. Spirit Blade 3 on Longsword is good, so probably worth using there. Charge Chop on Sword and Shield is very good, and this is the enhanced version of Charge Chop. Why not? Spinning Bludgeon on Hammer is actually pretty good on things that are weak to element. So if you're trying to make Hammer good right now, as bizarre as it sounds, hybrid raw elemental Hammer against things that are actually weak there, it's okay. As for Insect Glaive, I don't really know how good Reaping Slash is. I haven't really played enough Insect Glaive to know, but I know it is an enhanced move that comes out of Evasion, and so it is probably worth using there. Okay, so next up is Mending Mantle. This is pretty straightforward. I think for somebody who is trying to keep themselves alive, or if you're in a fight where you're getting poisoned a lot, there's a lot of fire damage around, you don't want to have to use too many healing items, I could see it being somewhat useful. I personally don't think I'll be using it. I'd rather be using Evasion Mantle or Corrupted Mantle still. But you can see when you put it on, there's a little bit of a delay. I've timed it. It's about 4 seconds. And then it starts to heal you at about 30 health a second. So if you were theoretically at 0 health, it should be able to get you up to max health of 150 in about 5 seconds. And that's pretty much it. I mean, it's straightforward, which is, I think, nice. I think it's nice to have skills or at least effects that seem like they're relatively straightforward compared to a lot of the other strange things that we have in this game. Only 80 seconds, not a very long duration, but again, if you're in a panic and you want to use it, it's okay there. Okay, Rocksteady Mantle, also kind of an interesting one. If you've played Monster Hunter World, it functions similarly to that. You get reduced damage, protection from wind pressure, roars, tremors. Lasts for 90 seconds. Every time you take a hit, though, it's a little bit like Temporal Mantle after the changes. You lose a chunk of duration of time on the armor itself. So it's the sort of thing, even if you can take a ton of damage, I would maybe say, like, don't just take hits for the hell of it. It's just like Temporal Mantle. Just because you can use that to evade damage doesn't necessarily mean it's something you should be doing. It's not free. It is going to gradually chunk down the duration of this mantle. Now, as for the damage reduction itself, it's a little bit difficult to calculate. My estimate for where most people are going to be at max defense in the point in the game right now is it is about 50% increased health. It's a little bit different though, because at lower amounts of defense, it feels like it gives a slightly higher amount of base defense as well. I have to do a lot of testing to really get it down, but for the most part, assume you can take about twice the amount of damage. Okay, last up is Ghillie Mantle, and unlike the other mantles where you could use L1 and R1 to put it on quickly, this one does require a shortcut on your radial menu. Kind of hate that. I don't know why they do it that way. I don't know. I don't know if maybe there's like no other no other shortcut that would work, but it does go on. Not much to say here. You know, I did a lot of testing out in the field to try and see if it could trigger faster sneak attacks. It really can't, not within a reasonable amount of time. I was trying to test out ambush. Takes like way longer than you would want to do in order to get a monster to truly lose sight of you. So it's not the sort of thing you could throw on. A monster is going to ignore you immediately and then you can do whatever you want. I think its best benefit is if you are low on health and you want to heal and sharpen, get out of the aggro range right away. It's always with you. It's one of your default tools. So it's not like you're ever going to be able to leave without it. Now, all the mantles, of course, do have their duration affected by Tool Specialist. Tool Specialist will increase, or rather reduce, the recharge time for the mantles after you've used them. My only issue with this skill is at 10 minutes, yes, for some longer fights, you will be able to get a second utilization of a mantle, potentially at the very end of the fight. With Xia, it's basically guaranteed you'll be able to get another use out of it. I think the problem is what are you giving up? You know, if you're giving up the equivalent of 3 points of Counter-Strike or earplugs, maximum might, you know, pretty much all those skills I would rather have. If this were a level 1 skill, I think I could recommend it a little bit more. But I think the fact that it's a level 2 skill, I just don't think we really have the room. The other thing is like, I feel like this is not the end of Capcom trying to rebalance these armor skills. I think we're going to see base recharge times for mantles going down a little bit before all is said and done. I don't know if it's going to be a tool specialist expert or some other skill like that, or if they just change the base value anyways. I don't know. But with Title Update 1 changing mantles so much, I don't think this is going to be the last video on mantles. I'm pretty sure before whatever the final title update is for base world and then going into the expansion, everything's going to get reworked again at some point. It's already gone crazy with Corrupted Mantle. It's only a matter of time before they change it again. And mind you, they could still add new mantles. Like, there is plenty of room for new mantles in this game. When you look at the list, like, we got 4. I mean, they're ready. There's space for 8, 12, 16, 20, 24 mantles or more if they wanted. Just you wait. We will see. We will see if we get more before all is said and done. Okay, and I do want to thank everyone. Thank you all for watching the videos. I know it's been a little bit slow with content releases. I'm still getting used to a new time zone. I'm like waking up at midnight and I just feel like a zombie most of the time. So that's been tough. Thank you again, your tier 3 Twitch and tier 2 Twitch subscribers. You guys are huge support. Thank you to all the YouTube channel members. Thank you to the Twitch tier 1 and Twitch Prime subscribers. Thank you. You guys are all the backbone of me being able to continue making all this content. So thank you. Thank you so much. Should have some more stuff out soon. Hopefully we'll have like the specific title update 1 armor skills and weapon skills analyzed in probably like another 1 or 2 days. Make a little video talking about that, comparing it to the other things. After that, I still have a couple more topics I can definitely tackle within Wilds. I do have some ideas about checking out some of the older games. Not sure how much interest there is there, but I had one specific video that I wanted to go over in Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate. So if you are excited for a Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate video, let me know down in the comments below. I will make it if you want to see it. Okay, so that's it for now. Thank you all so much. I will see you again soon. Thanks.